What's going on, MSFers? Duelam here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the currency blog. I also wanted to talk about the all-new super deals that they're doing in-game, and I'm curious to see how trash they're gonna be. But yeah, so we got a new Intel Store blog all about new currency conversion and Intel Store, and I saw a lot of people being confused as to the shop credits and what's going to happen with all of their credits that they currently have. Now you'll see here we have ratios: Blitz credit 1-4, gear credits 5-1. This is from the Blitz orb section, by the way. If you forgot where those were, yeah, that's still a thing. Arena credits, raid, elite raid credits, war credits, elite war credits, cosmic crucible credits, and elite cosmic crucible credits. So this is all going to get transitioned into something that's going to look like this. So this is all here. I'm going to slide over a little bit. This is all going to be converted to the legacy store. All of your currency that we have in-game will be converted to this legacy currency, which is being called shop credits. And all of the items that you were getting from the Blitz store, Arena store, Raid, War credits, the Cosmic Crucible store, all of those things will go to this legacy store. The problem is they didn't tell us how much things are going to cost in the legacy store. And I really wish they would have, because I have more questions than I do answers after reading this blog. So if we go in-game here, I would have loved for them to show, like, hey, 2 augmented alpha flight ciphers cost 950 war credits today. Guess what? They're going to cost 2,000 legacy currency. They're going to cost 2,000 shop credits, whatever it is, right? I wish there was kind of a 1-to-1 ratio so we could have gotten a grasp on it instead of just telling us, hey, this is what the conversion rates are. I don't know what the prices are going to be in the store yet. So yeah, figure it out. We'll get there eventually. And I didn't really like that. It doesn't seem like a solid plan is in place when they do stuff like that. And I really don't enjoy that at all. So we're going to keep going on with the blog just a little bit more. So one of the questions I have from this, I actually wrote them down because I wanted to make sure I was prepared. So for this legacy store, the problem is there's 7 years worth of stuff going into this legacy store, right? So is it going to be impossible to find anything you want? Like right now in game, I still want from the Cosmic Crucible store, I still want, it's not showing in my game because why would it? That would be too helpful. Let's say this is Ms. Marvel Classic here and not Cosmo. I still want Cosmo, or I still want Ms. Marvel Classic. Is it going to be like there's 8,000 things in the store and there's only like 200 slots? So I'm going to have to sit there and refresh, and it's going to take me way longer to get Ms. Marvel Classic than it would if it was just in the Crucible store like normal. I hope that's not the case, and I'm curious to see how they're going to navigate that, or if it's going to be a super massive store and you're going to be able to scroll for hours, or if it's going to be sectioned out in like, here's gear, here's character shards, here's awaken abilities, here's all that kind of stuff. So I hope it's kind of like that, and there's like sections to this legacy shop, because if not, there's going to be a lot of problems of not getting what you actually want from this, and that could be a problem. But what's going to change now is all of the new stuff is going to be put into Intel store items, and you're going to be doing that with Intel. So you're going to be buying these items with Intel, and Intel is not going to be sold. They also talked about that up here. It will not be sold in any way, shape, or form. It is only going to be through participation in Cosmic Crucible, raids, war, all that kind of stuff. So it's not going to be through purchases or from hoarding, okay? And this is going to be kind of like the Macron crystals that we had for Lalandra's unlock, which is a good thing. I think that's great. It's rewarding people who play the game instead of just spending. So I'm okay with that. Now, I want to know how much these things are going to cost in this new store, because they tell us, hey, we're going to put new character shards in there. These new character shards are going to be there within 2 to 4 weeks following a day's character's orb entering the game. There's going to be diamonds for top tier characters, gear tier 19 and 20, L4 training materials. I know you guys are foaming at the mouth for those. Purple ISO 8, which I'm assuming is going to be the next, actually is the next progression system because they showed it in their overpowered blog, and T4 ability materials. So I want to know what these things are going to cost, and I want to know how much intel I'm expected to get for a fully fledged, fully participation player. How much intel am I going to get? So am I going to be able to get 100 stacks of 5 character shards? Or am I going to be able to get 30 of Gear 20? Or am I going to get 15 of Gear 20 and 50 of the new character shards? Whatever it is, right? I want some concrete numbers to go with this, because as of right now, this is all just numbers in space. Like, there's not even numbers here. It's just words. Like, this means nothing. Like, what if new character shards are 50,000 intel and you're expected to get 200,000 intel for the entire chapter, right? And 5 shards is 50,000 intel. Then this looks a lot worse than, hey, you're going to have availability of getting these new characters within 2 to 4 weeks. That's awesome, right? So I really wish there were numbers behind this, because right now we don't know anything about it, and this just looks real nice on paper. Or it could be, hey, 10 G20 pieces is pretty much all of your intel for the entire chapter. Don't plan on buying anything else, and that's crappy. And I also hope that as the chapters progress, they continually update the G20 prices, because I'm presuming the G20, after one chapter of being in the main store, is going to the legacy store, because then everybody would have G20 and it would be over from there. That's my thought, but hey, maybe they just release the floodgates on Gear 20 3 months in. After that, hey, maybe they do. Oh well, cool. They're also talked about, we plan to add even more items regularly, and I'm curious to see what regularly is. They were pretty deliberate in talking about new characters are going to be 2 to 4 weeks after a character's orb enters the game. But we have this issue when it comes to specifically Old Man Logan diamonds, Captain Britain diamonds, when we had the Awaken abilities not being available for Green Goblin Classic for a substantial amount of time. Same thing with Old Man Logan. They did a little bit better with the Astral, specifically Shadow King. Not the passive, though. That's like ISO 8 energy crap spending right now, right? So I want to know what regularly is. I know you don't want to be held to this, I have to do this on X day, but we need something. You can't just tell us nothing and expect us to be happy and be ready to go and be super happy about this store if you're not telling us where the pitfalls are, because there can be a lot of pitfalls, and it all depends on when you want to put things in the store and how much they're gonna cost. So it's all dependent on that, and it's a really poor model to go off of, which is why I think this blog really pissed off a lot of people, honestly. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about regarding this is a chapter is going to last 12 weeks, right? So if a character is releasing on week 8 or week 9, and we get a character put into the Intel store 2 weeks after their release, so either week 10 or week 11, are they only going to be in the Intel store for a week and then they're going to be shot over to the Legacy store? Because if so, that's really beneficial for players that have a lot of this built up currency, or are going to have a lot of this Legacy store currency, right? And we could just get those new characters immediately. Or are they going to roll over into the Chapter 2 season store? Another problem, and it's the same problem I said about the Legacy store here, is what's going to happen at the end of the chapter when there's 70 items in there compared to when there was just 10 or 12 at the beginning of the chapter. How hard is it going to be to find what I actually want without having to sit there and core refresh over and over and over and over again? And that's what I really wanted to understand, to make sure I know what's going on, because right now they kind of just told us a bunch of words that don't mean anything. And then we have some feedback on Reddit, my favorite place on planet Earth to go for salt. The new store looks similar to the one they implemented in their broken game, Walking Dead. In their previous game, Walking Dead, which is currently dead, for lack of a better terms, and their server shut down due to their poor predatory decision in pursuit of higher revenue and zero fun. They included a store similar to the one they're advertising, and every player I read about the game is talking badly about it. So it seems like Scopely has done this in other games, and it is something that the player base has not enjoyed. Now, I don't know anything about the Walking Dead game. I don't know if there was other reasons why the game fell apart or not, but that is something to consider is, hey, they've done this before and it hasn't worked. And that could be a sign as that's not good because, you know, they've been shown that they don't know how to do it, or it didn't work in this game and they're going to learn from their mistakes to work here. And also, it's a completely different team. Scopely is one entity, but they have different teams working on different games. So I don't think this really has any sort of merit when it comes to the probability or the likelihood of it working or not working in Marvel's Strike Force. And I had to talk about this as well before we talk about super deals. Kings, let's not forget, Scopely is flooding us with all this new info on Age of Annihilus and Quasar, the new Intel store, currency conversion, etc. The complaints for overpowered is dying down. That is what they want. And I actually don't agree with this because I feel like overpowered is really just overshadowed. And the problem is every time we get some new info like this, all everybody is talking about is overpowered. And I feel like it's just overshadowing all of the positive things that are coming. And it's unfortunate, but on the other side of it, I really understand because Scopely did that to themselves. But it is unfortunate because there are a lot of good things coming into the game, like this currency conversion, chapters, seasons, all that good stuff. So let's pop back in game real quick before we close out the video. That's right, we've got a Gear 20 super deal, and I talked about this on my video on Wednesday, and I didn't know what they were. So we have a brief glimpse as to what this is gonna look like. So to score is pretty straightforward, and this is where the data mine actually came from regarding earning or opening. Here, let's move that around. Oh no, my green screen. We're fine. We're fine. We're all fine. I fixed it. I'm a professional. So we have open 1 armory, 20 orb. You can see that. So it's limited at 40K, so it's super easy to do. And it also includes lower players that may not be getting G20 orbs as well, which is great. I think that's awesome. So that's really, really cool. And you can get 40,000 points from this scoring system, right? So what's going to happen is you can get all the way to milestone 10. And everything from milestones 1 through 9 is gear 19, is not gear 20. Now, all the way at the bottom, for an extra 20,000 milestone points, you can get 1 full piece of mutant gear. So 25 of the one on the left and 25 of the one on the right. Now, I can't tell you the value of this and if the offer is worth it because we don't have a number, a money sign tied to it yet, right? We don't have a number tied to this. So I'm curious what you guys think the number should be to be fair. And I really want to see what you guys think before this goes out and live and what Scopely actually put the offer at. So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think should be a fair price for this. So for example, we do have Gear 20s currently in the offer store, and I'm going to go to a mutant character. Who's a mutant character? Jean Grey. So let's go to Jean Grey. Let's go here. I'm going to hit find. So right now, Scopely is valuing 25 of one of the pieces at $35 a pop. So technically it's $70 is what they value this super deal final milestone at currently in game. Now, I think it's going to be less than that because they're trying to incentivize, hey, you need to participate to be able to get to this point to also buy this offer. So I'm curious what you guys are thinking. I don't know what I'm going to think. I'm going to put the over under at like $30. So we could do over under, and you can also put what number you think is there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.